Okay, alright. How's it going to you, all you fans out there? Welcome back to another video. I butchered that intro. Today, we're going to be doing another science talk. Sorry for not uploading a video in a while. It's because of school. But today, we're going to be doing a science talks, and as you read by the title, it's going to be good old Sparky, you know, the man, the myth, the legend. Just give me a second here. Let's play as Yoshi. Uh, yeah, so we're gonna be doing a science talk on Sparky, and as it always is with these episodes, the answer is no. Sparky cannot exist in real life. That is stupid. There's no such thing as a ball or like a humanoid figure of living electricity. That's impossible. Completely impossible. Unless the electrons had cells in them, which then that would make it living, but I don't know how that would work. But no. The answer is always no. That's not how that works. Yeah, so Sparky, it cannot actually be alive. It cannot be a real thing. But we are gonna talk about how he works, really. Now, this is gonna be explained in Lightning sooner or later, but I just wanted to do a science talk episode on it because I don't think they're gonna elaborate as much. I mean, John is gonna give a good explanation, like always, but yeah, it's not gonna really be as elaborate. So yeah, let me just explanatory, seriously, you know what I mean. So yeah, Sparky, how does he work? So he's a special case. Okay, science talks, yes. So how he works? He's let's talk about what he is first of all. Not as in like what type of creature is he, more like the relationship he forms with other organisms. And you know what I'm talking about, guys. You know, parasite, mutualism, that type of stuff. So let's talk about what he really is. Now, this is a really tricky one, since Sparky can be a little bit of a dick sometimes. You guys are gonna see that later. But I'd say his relationship as an organism with other organisms, I'd say it's mutualism, because no, okay, how do I explain this? It's not mutualism. Where's what's the word I'm looking for? Horizon. Put it up on the screen. It's that one where the organism that is being affected isn't getting as much as it's giving away. There should be a word for that, right? If it's not that, I'm just gonna. It's just mutualism. But yeah, it's Sparky's more of the type where he does. It's not it's not, he's not giving as much as he's taking. Yeah, that's what it is. He's he. I mean, obviously he's giving people powers and stuff, but that's nothing compared to everything. He uses basically their body as a host. And now that I think about it, Sparky might actually be a parasite, but he uses their body as a host, as we all know this, because that's how Ogmos are. They use the host body and inhabit them for their own living needs, because Ogmos by themselves, this is a little bit of lore here, they can't really survive. You know, they they can't survive as well as they would, with a host. How do I explain this? Okay. With a host, they're like living normally. They're at their full potential. But without a host, they're basically dying. It's what do I compare this to? Okay. Okay, yeah. It's like an animal that's bleeding out. It, it's like an animal got a small cut and is like bleeding out and stuff. And the game froze. I don't know what happened here. Uh, one second. Okay, my game crashed there. Let's not talk about that. So yeah, what was I saying? What was I saying? All right, right, right. So it's like if an animal got a, let's say there was a how am I gonna say this without freaking out people? Let's say that a small cat got a got clawed by a leopard, or just got a cut on its leg. It's bleeding out, right? Because that cut is absolutely horrible. But it's like it's bleeding out, but at the same time, it's not a cut big enough to actually kill it. It's more like an injury. It's not at its full potential. Hope you guys know what I mean, because if not, this is awkward. Um, yeah, but it's like that. They're not at their full potential when they don't have a host. So what happens here is that Sparky uses the host body for nutrients and such. Let's say oxygen. Electricity is mostly made up of electricity is electrons. I'm kind of stupid. Horizon, if I'm wrong, please tell me in like an edit or something, because I we need your brain right now. We need your science. Yeah, but how that works is that electricity, electrons and stuff. And this is not how this works at all. But the science behind this, or at least the one I'm using, is that the specific electrons that Sparky uses is it needs it needs oxygen. How do I say this? The electron's specific needs is O2, oxygen. Water isn't really needed, but water is more like candy. It's more like giving candy to someone. Yeah, 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 let's say that. It's more like giving a healthy person. Um, how do I explain? It's like giving a healthy person an apple. It makes them better, but they're already healthy. So what water H2O isn't really in question here, but Sparky's electrons' main source is like oxygen, and since Sparky doesn't really have nostrils, or a nose for that matter, or lungs, or anywhere to actually get that oxygen. He's in a constant dying state, you could say. He's, like I said, he's not at his full potential. But once he inhabits John, it's all hippy doopy, and they go on adventures together. In the end, bye. This is the episode. I'm just kidding. So inhabiting John, since John actually has lungs and stuff. By the way, this is gonna be a thing. This kind of spoiler, so if you don't want to hear this part, skip to the timestamp ahead. So basically, what happens is that Sparky, when he gets in the host body, he makes the host. It's like the host is breathing oxygen for two people. So like he's taking way more oxygen than he is, and this actually happens in the manga, where John takes in like twice the amount of oxygen that you know his body can hold. He just starts breathing in and such, and like I don't know how to describe it, but you'll see it. Okay, spoilers over, everybody. You can come back. So yeah, that's how that works. So yeah, main source of energy for Sparky is oxygen, and John is just full of that. And this is well, the thing really happens at the heat of battle. That's where the problems start coming in. And science, I completely forgot where I was. I lost track like 20 times in the middle of explaining this. So speaking of which, what was I speaking about? Yeah. Okay, let's say that Sparky has a mutualistic relationship with its host. You know, humans need oxygen to function, so I think this is a mutualistic, relationship. Since Sparky is giving extra oxygen to John, battling and such, all the fighting that John is going to be doing, it takes up a lot of oxygen when this is basic science. When the body is doing physical activity, it needs oxygen to actually do the do. You know what I mean? Yes, yes. I'm basically Bill Nye out here. Like you know how it is. So the human body needs oxygen, and let's say Sparky has a mutualistic relationship with his host because it's letting him because Sparky is literally letting him breathe twice the amount of oxygen, and this isn't really the case for most Ogmos. Not like every single freaking Ogmo needs oxygen. Like, let's take a look at what was his name? It was like AB 049. No, no, no. I completely forgot my own Ogmo. But do you guys remember in Volume 2 the Ogmo with the skull and the fur, the black fur, and with the like kind of bull skull, but not really. Yeah, the one with the deer skull type of thing. The Wendigo looking guy. So him. He doesn't really need oxygen. He does not function like that. But all Ogmos need some sort of nutrition. But for this case, it's oxygen for Sparky. Other benefits that Sparky gives its host is obviously the powers, but that's not really a necessary thing. Let's say Sparky were to inhabit an animal. Yeah, let's say that Sparky were to inhabit an animal. What would that animal do with lightning powers? Like what? Spark. This is also some lore clues here. Like, what would an animal need with some lightning powers type of thing? So, I almost spoiled my entire manga. Oh my god. So basically, yeah, Sparky wouldn't really function as good in an animal. The only benefits that animal would have is if it was a carnivore, and it had to hunt for food, which where is the electricity would come in. Speaking of which, let's talk about Sparky's electricity. This is completely actually possible in the animal kingdom because there are obviously things that shock you in the animal kingdom because nature is scary like that. But yeah, it's completely possible to have a creature that has shocks you. I completely missed that jump, but we're not going to talk about that. It's possible to have a creature that shocks you, or at least a creature that holds electricity in it. But the difference between Sparky and most actual living, breathing animals is that, you know, Sparky is carrying a whole 1,000,000 volts. I'm just kidding. He's not carrying 1,000,000 volts. Next time on Game Theory. I'm just kidding. So, yeah, he's Sparky. He has like an enormous amount of electricity. Oh, oh my God, Bowser was stuck there for a second. He has an enormous amount of electricity, which obviously he uses to power up Jean Boy. Speaking of which, how does another scientific question, boys? Yes, how does Jean actually use his powers? Let's go back to the Animal Kingdom thing. So, John Animal Kingdom, same thing. Since John is an actual living, breathing thing, it's basically like John is basically now an eel. He's taking the form of an eel. Not really, like metaphorically. But John is an eel, let's say, because the powers that Sparky has given him are, shock and stuff. So, John is more like an eel than anything. Is there anything that mutualizes with an eel? I highly doubt it. I really highly do doubt it that anything mutualizes with an eel, or at least has a relationship with it. But John is like an eel. He stores up all the electricity that Sparky has given him, and eventually releases it. Because just because logic, just anime, just because manga, okay? Just let this sink in. Any other okay, let me think of what else. What else? What else? So. Sparky, yes. Science behind Sparky. So another thing is, oh yeah, how does Sparky walk? Well, this is actually a thing that'll probably best be explained in the manga, but let me give you a brief rundown. Sparky walking, this is interesting. Since he doesn't have a skeletal it's struck him a structure, in any sort of way. There's no way he should be walking, right? Well, let's say this. Let's say that Sparky isn't really walking so much as floating. He's not really touching the ground. You know how air molecules are in the air? You know how science, life does life things? You know how common sense? Yeah, you know how air molecules are in the air and stuff? That's basically Sparky. Sorry about that. I ran into a stupid block. So that's basically Sparky. He's not really walking per se, so much as floating. Now let's talk about Sparky killing people, cause that's another thing that happens. There, oh god, we're gonna get demonetized, people. We're talking about killing living human beings. Susan, I know you have ideas, but I'm not talking about actually. I really am, but I'm not gonna kill anyone, Susan. I'm not, except for little Timmy in my basement. Anyways, okay, so Sparky, ways that he could oof someone. There's always a 1 million volt thing, which, okay, I'm going to say it's canon. 1 million volts. 1 million volts is canon to any of you interested with the lore of that. What else? What else? All right, let's explain how he stabs through that one security guard in Volume 2. So, let's give an example of a knife. Have you guys ever seen that game theory episode with the one that is like, oh, you should bring knives to a battle? Yeah, that's basically how Sparky works. Let me give you a brief rundown of what Map had talked in there. So what he said is that Kevlar vests, or at least a vest that military people or police officers, or the general people that are fighting out there, are using these certain vests, and everything is made out of fibers. So you know every fiber has a little piece. There's like, it's all woven together, but there's little gaps in the fiber that you can stick a tiny little knife into. And the the um, the actual weapon that would be most effective, as he said, is a needle. Yeah, that's right. A needle. A needle could kill you. So, a needle. That's what Sparky basically did. Um, we also need to talk. So, how it works is that Sparky, since he's made out of electricity and stuff, he also gets really heated up. So he goes through the guard's chest, a needle. At the same time, it's burning a hole into it, sort of, as he's stabbing through it. It's really gruesome. Let's not talk about it. So more science behind Sparky Moo. Sparky Moo, what is wrong with me? Oh my god. So more science behind Sparky. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be an interesting one for you guys. I'm basically just answering any questions you guys might have about him. So, how? What is Sparky's smile, or at least what is it? Like, honestly, I don't even know this answer. What Sparky's smile and face, general face, his eyes and his mouth. We all know this, that the mouth and eyes are completely blacked out, right? They're completely blacked out, and they're not made out of electricity per se. Um, I mean, obviously the entirety of Sparky is made out of electricity, but the mouth in particular is not the one holding most of that. You guys get what I mean. So how does that work? Let me think of an explanation on the fly to try to sound smart. I don't really know how that works. Honestly, I just winged it because design choice. But how does Sparky's face work? Okay, let's say that Sparky is generally hollow. No, that wouldn't make any sense. Sparky's face, design choice. Yeah. That's how that works. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna be that dude because if there's an explanation why Sparky is doing Sparky things, then there should be an explanation for his face, which I currently cannot find. Sparky's face. It's like a jackal. It's like a jack o' lantern. Sparky's face is really interesting. It might actually have to. I don't think. No. It's not gonna be a topic for another day. I'm not gonna leave you guys on a cliffhanger. I'm not. Listen, I'm not that mean, guys. I'm not that mean. Or maybe I am. Maybe I am. So, listen. Sparky's face, how does that work? Um, do you know how pufferfish, get all fat and stuff when they're being chased by a predator? Look at Bowser's back right now. That's basically what a pufferfish looks like when it's trying to, when a predator is trying to hunt it. So, the pufferfish doesn't have anything. That's basically just an intimidation tactic. So let's say that Sparky functions mainly like that. Intimidation. His face is mainly for intimidation. It's obviously made out of electricity. The eyes and the mouth are a different story. Let's just say that Sparky's head is hollow on the inside because that's the only explanation to why it would be blacked out. Otherwise, he wouldn't have a face. It would just be electricity. Which thought would be kind of really stupid because, I like Sparky's design as it is right now. It's really plain, simple, and horrifying. Last thing we should talk about, and I saved the best for last. His Mega Evolution. I'm just kidding. When Sparky goes Berserk mode. Yeah, that's right. So do you guys remember at the end of Volume 2, when Sparky and, what's his name, when all super mega Pokemon evolution, they went into their final form. I don't know what to call it yet. They did like a transformation and everything. That's basically an Ogmo's response to fear and fighting. Let's say that's an Ogmo's adrenaline. When they go into a form like that, that's adrenaline pumping. That's more like instincts, if anything. Do you know how a lion, when it's trying to kill you, usually its claws are like in its, uh, it's in its like paws. It's a lion's claws is in its paws. That rhymes. But they're tucked in there. But then when they're fighting something or hunting something, the claws get like pushed out. Yeah, that's basically what um, you know, Ogmos do. But it's way different, obviously, because we're not gonna compare a freaking Ogmo to a lion. That's kind of stupid. So, okay, let's go back to the hollow thing because that's the only explanation of how Sparky goes into like the ultimate form. His jaw obviously gets stronger. Muscles. He somehow gets muscles. I cannot explain everything, guys. For the meantime, I don't really have an explanation for everything. Oh God, I don't know why I'm so tired. Um, I don't really know why he has muscles and stuff. Again, design choice. But if there's an explanation for something in this universe, there has to be an explanation for everything. Yeah. Oh, you guys have no idea what you're in for. Um, yeah. Quick. Okay. I'm about to spoil my entire manga. Not really, because that'd be a really douchey thing to do. So in this universe, Uh, for those of you that stuck around to the end of the video, here's your little gift. In this universe, not everything has to have an explanation. And there's an explanation to why nothing has to have an explanation. And that explanation, you guys are going to have to wait for it for at least 5 years because it's not until the end of the series. Um, I think I might have spoken a little bit too much, but y'all can start theorizing in the the comments. I have everything basically planned out. Yeah, so yeah. By the way, for those of you that are not in the Discord server, which you should be in, you can meet me in it. So, yeah. The release date for Lightning Episode 1 is January 2022. More specifically, January 13th, 2022. Sorry it's going to be so late, but I'll try. If I can find an earlier date, I will, but that right now is like the set date for the release of Lightning Episode 1. I am a one-man crew, guys. Like, don't, you know, you can flame me in the comments, but don't expect too much. I'm a one-man crew. I don't really have an entire animation team behind my back. You know, because I'm a broke middle school student and I can't really hire animators to help me. So I'm kind of on my own, and I have to animate an entire 20-page manga into an adaptation. So, and you guys wanted shading in it and stuff. So it's gonna take a bit. If I'm being honest, it's you guys are gonna have to wait for it. But yeah, 2022, early 2022 is when you guys are gonna get it. Hopefully, I might be able to push it out earlier. But yeah. But I know you guys have been waiting for this. I know you have. For the ones that actually stuck around to the end of the video, here is your gift. Lightning Volume 3. Yeah, that's right. I just said the magical words. I just said it. Lightning Volume 3 coming in 3 weeks? Yeah, it's coming out in 3 weeks, maybe 2 if I'm good enough. In 2 weeks I have my my final my in 2 weeks I have testing, so it might be in 3 weeks. Yeah, somewhere around 3 weeks is when Lightning Volume 3 comes out. I'm guys, it is so sick. Like, I'm genuinely proud of this, and I honestly think you guys are gonna like it more than that, more than Volume 2. Actually, I have a lot planned for Volume 3. I'm currently like about halfway done. Um, yeah. So it comes out in about 3 weeks. For those of you, again, that actually stuck around to the end of this video. For those of you that didn't, you know, you're not hearing this, so why would you ever not stick around to the end of the video? You know, that's the best part. So yeah, please leave a like, because that actually makes this video do better. You know, we gotta get this out to more people, because it's really interesting to hear how Sparky exists. Nah, just kidding, just kidding. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and if you haven't already, turn on those notifications to become a one to I forgot my outro. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and if you haven't already, turn on those notifications to become a part of the Dino Squad today. And I'll see you guys in the next one, and I'll hopefully not leave you hanging for 3 weeks without uploading a video. Bye!